Hey guys, Chris from Wex Photo Video here, and I've just received a sample of one of the new Rayzr RGBWW LED soft lights. I thought it'd be a good idea to give you guys a first look and really run you through the menu system just to see what this thing is all about. Now, there are three sizes in the Rayzr MC lineup. There's the MC200, which is a 2x1 light, the MC100, which is a smaller, more compact widescreen version of the 2x1, and then there's the MC120, which is the one that I've got here, which of course is a 1x1 panel light. Now, even though the lights are all different sizes, etc., they're all pretty much the same, other than, yes, they are different sizes, and of course, the bigger the light, the more light it can actually output, but they all sort of have the same features, they all use the same sort of controller, so once you've used one, you can use the rest. So first impressions of the light is that it's pretty lightweight and slim. It's got a full metal housing, and it comes with these barn doors that are attached by a nice quick release system. There are no fans for cooling. Instead, that big, metal body there acts as one big heatsink, which means that it pretty much runs silently. So if you're filming audio, capturing audio, should I say, if you're filming something, you want the audio still, then you're gonna be able to do that with this. The light from the MC120 is pretty soft since it's got a diffusion layer built right into it, and a 120-degree beam angle. Now, of course, these lights are full RGB lights. In fact, they are RGBWW. And if you're wondering what that exactly means, it means for every RGB chip, there are two white chips, or two white LEDs, one specialized for emitting daylight and the other one for a slightly warmer white light. Having these two extra white LED lights with the RGB chips allows the Rayzr MC to have a more consistent output level across color ranges and, of course, higher color accuracy. The MC120 puts out 2,691 LUTs at 1 meter and has a claimed TLCI of between 96 and 98 and a CRI of 95. So I've just powered it off so I can show you the powering options for these fixtures. Of course, we've got a V-mount plate there built into the back of the unit, so you can power this light with a standard 14.4 volt V-mount battery, or you can run it from mains power supply. The draw on this thing is only around 118 watts, which is quite good for a panel of this size. And what's nice with the mains power adapter is that it still clips straight into that V-mount adapter there. Below it, we've got the actual control unit, and this has built-in Wi-Fi and DMX. So if you're thinking about putting one of these fixtures into an environment where you already have lots of lights set up, you've got two options there for sort of plumbing it into your main control system, however you're controlling those lights. So let's jump into the menu system. Around the LCD screen, we've got some physical buttons, and to navigate around, we mainly use the menu button and the arrows to jump around that menu. And then we have the two twist knobs on the side for changing parameters, one for larger steps and the other for smaller, more refined adjustments. The main menus that we've got to work in are CCT mode, which in effect is your typical white light mode where you set the Kelvin, intensity, and you've also got green and magenta shift. It's also worth mentioning that the MC has an impressively wide CCT range of 2,400 to 9,900 Kelvin, thanks to those extra two W chips. And it's actually one of the largest ranges I've seen in an LED panel light. We've got effect mode, which I'll come back to shortly. We've got HSL, where you can dial in the hue angle, saturation, and intensity, similar to the way in which color wheel works in your editing software. We've got gel mode, where you pretty much have the same control as what you did in CCT mode, where you can dial in that white light, but this time you can digitally overlay over 300 popular gels, and unlike their physical counterparts, without any loss of light output. Now, there's an X and Y coordinate mode as well, which is particularly useful if you're matching other light sources. Now, other light sources could be the sun, another lighting fixture, or the actual house lights in, say, this meeting room, for example. I can just get my meter out, get a reading, which will give me the X and Y coordinates, put those coordinates straight into here, and hey presto, this light is going to match perfectly. And finally, we've got an RGBWW mode, where you enter the RGB values and the added two white light values, which is going to be useful if you're matching a very specific color palette. For example, if you're trying to match a color for a brand. And if you're doing some high-speed shooting, of course you need this light to operate flicker-free. You can actually change the base operating frequency from 400 Hz all the way up to 20,000 Hz. So let's jump back to that effects tab, because this fixture does come with 10 built-in effects for you to use should you want to. Now, I'm saying should you want to, because just because they're there doesn't mean that you should use them. It really depends on what it is that you're trying to do, but at least you've got 10 there to work with. So let's go into, let's say cop car, which is obviously going to be a popular one. I think. I've never actually used this effect on a shoot myself, doing a lot of corporate work, but hey ho, you never know. So there we go. Now in each of these effects, you've got a couple of parameters that you can actually tweak. And obviously it's going to depend on each effect what those parameters are, but for example in cop car, we can change the speed, so we can put it on relatively slow flash, or we can really ramp it up to 0.6 seconds, depending on what we want. You've also got the ability to dim the brightness and also change the color. So we can just have just blue, just red, or we can have both red and blue, go wild, and have both those colors flashing there. So the other effects that you get are party, candle, club light, lightning, fireworks, light strobe, fire, television, and paparazzi. So as you can see, it's a pretty capable portable panel light. You know, looking at it, it looks kind of similar to some of its more expensive competition out there. But you know, if that sort of design works, then why not? And at least with this, you know, it doesn't come at the cost of reduced color accuracy or light reproduction. So, you know, you're getting a lot of the stuff that you can get in more expensive gear, but at a cheaper cost, and something that is pretty portable. So, you know, if you're a sole filmmaker, a lighting camera op, this could be something that you may want to look at if perhaps some of the more expensive LED lights out there are just slightly out of your budget. So I hope you found this video useful, guys. If you have, then do hit that like and subscribe button. That would make my day. If you haven't, then just don't do anything. That would be lovely too. If you've got any questions, do pop them below in the comments and I'll get back to you. And I shall see you in the next video.